I'm also wondering if, people just like, they use hotels as their like personal sex dungeons, I feel like. Do people just leave behind like fat dildos and sex toys and things?
Yes.
Welcome back to Other People's Lives. I'm Joe Santagato.
I'm Greg Dybec.
For anyone out there that would like to be a guest on our show, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our email is oplpodcast@gmail.com. So just send us your story and we'll get back to you.
Today we are speaking with a woman who is a housekeeper at a hotel. So we are going to learn about all the behind the scenes of being a housekeeper at a hotel, the things that she's seen, dealt with. I don't know if I want to know some of these things because we might never stay in a hotel again, but that's our job here. We got to learn what really goes on, what people are seeing that we don't see out there in the world. So we've got the guest on, and thank you so much for being on today.
I'm super excited.
So this might be kind of obvious to people, but can you just, I guess, walk us through the role of a housekeeper and maybe just describe the hotel that you work at?
Okay, I work at a hotel, and it's kind of small-ish, but we got like festivals and stuff going on, so we're like right next to where those happen. So I get a cart, which we have these like big, huge like rolling carts to put sheets and towels and pillowcases, pillow protectors, all that stuff that we would possibly need, or cleaners. I bring extra stuff because I've been at my job for quite a while. So I bring extra things like air fresheners that I believe, because some of these rooms I think smell kind of gross. I bring like carpet cleaners if I can't get them at work. Like I bring a lot of extra stuff. I even bring crayons and colored pencils because I draw pictures on my cards for the guests, because I figured it just in case they've had a hard day, it might make them smile. So we get like a list of, it's either called stayovers or do outs. If it's a stayover, it's a person that's still there and they're going to be there for a while. And if it's a do out, they already left or they're about to leave that day. So they'll give us a list depending on how many people are there. Some housekeepers just don't show up to work, and then it gives the full load of it to one or two of them. So when we go to work, we got going down the hallway. So we only have 3 floors. So one of the floors I go on, sometimes you get stuck with half of one floor, half of another. And to go to a room, you're supposed to look, survey what you see. So I usually start with trash. Depending on what room you go in, it could be kind of gross. When you have parties, bridal showers, just bridal parties in general, birthday parties, all that.
Yeah, I was actually
quite a mess.
I was actually going to ask like what was kind of like the worst thing you walked in on? Because I assume that that's like part of it too. Like you walk into a room and it's like, Jesus, like when it's really out of hand, do you just start working or do you have to call that in? And like, what was the worst sort of experience you had walking into a room?
Well, we do have something that's called a cleaning fee if a person completely trashes a room. And the one I dealt with a lot of gross in different aspects, and I was tired. I didn't want to go in there to clean it to begin with because it was gross. So, and the one I could think of that was horrible in every way possible was a person that we actually had to kick out because they were before them just trashing it. The couple were fighting in their room, and like they were trashing furniture and everything else. I remember when I had my old boss, it took 3 housekeepers to clean it, and it was only a room with a king bed in it. Jeez. Yeah, they had thrown. Yeah, I hope it was a milkshake. I don't want to think it was vomit. They, projectile vomited on the TV. I don't know. That could happen, but the TV was covered in something that looked like a milkshake. It was all over the TV stand. They poured alcohol. It seemed everywhere. Of course, they smoked in the room because why not add that to the fact that they were already doing all the other stuff? They tried to rip our smoke detector out of the ceiling, and they tried to steal our coffee maker. They ruined our sheets. They were ripped and stained and everything else. The bathroom, that was like if there wasn't pee on it, that would have surprised me.
It was just covered in piss.
Just everywhere. Like they just didn't care. Like totally didn't matter at that time. They're just gonna I'm coming to this room. I'm not going to pay for it. I'm going to trash it and I'm just going to leave.
This has to happen often. Like I think airplanes and hotel rooms. Why do people just act like the worst versions of themselves? It's this weird entitlement.
I was the same thing. Yeah. I've had people like it's like they ignored the toilet completely. Like I know people pee in the shower when they're taking a shower. I know that happens. I'm not dumb. But like it's like they ignored the toilet completely and peed in it while the shower was dry.
Can I ask something too? Like, you know, the beds in hotels, are they like, they're like sort of like a wrap over them or something like that? Or like, and how often do you change these mattresses?
The mattresses usually they get flipped more often than they get like switched for new mattresses because it has to go through a corporate office to be able to get new things. Like we've been waiting to get a new dryer for the whole duration I've been at this job, and I've been there for I think almost 5 years. We finally just got a brand new dryer, and it caught fire twice before this.
Whoa, caught fire.
But the other one we have, it caught fire once, but that one still works. So we're keeping that one apparently, but we replaced one of them that just finally just took a crap on us. It just wouldn't work anymore.
I'm like scared to have this conversation because are Joe, like, are you the type of person who, whether it's an Airbnb, hotel, like, do you immediately hit the bed and think like the last person definitely had sex or came all over this or like did something?
I don't.
If it makes you feel better, our mattresses have something called a BB cover, which is in case like you've had people pay for homeless people to stay, which is, you know, sweet of them, but they can also potentially bring bed bugs and bugs into the room. So we have something that protects our mattresses from it getting in there. And then if a person comes in and they happen to bring them in, that room is completely, all the furniture is taken out and it is treated for like 2 weeks time. So nobody can stay in there.
This is like specifically if like a homeless person gets put up there, you said?
Well,
or if it's just a really bad,
we have people stay that are from overseas because we have a school called Culver Academy. They're a private school, and a lot of the kids and stuff are from literally countries all over the world. Okay. So their parents will come for a parents' week or a parents' day or something. I can't remember that whole thing, and they'll be, you know, far away, and maybe they don't realize they have it or they brought it. Or I know, like my cousin, he used to live in Texas, and he's about to go back. He had cockroaches in his house, which is completely normal apparently in Texas. I didn't know that they had to treat them all the time because of something. They got like big, huge ones. So he treated all of his stuff before he left, and that'd be something that he could have brought and didn't know that he brought, kind of thing. Like, so when they tell us like, oh, I found this in my room, then they'll let us know. And depending on if they get switched, it's the thing. If we don't know if they brought it or not, it kind of sucks to have to switch them. But if they want to be switched and not the ones that brought it, well, we might be spreading it. But in the aspect of we're not spreading it, we could have just saved them from having it on their stuff. Okay. So like in time. So like it obviously that does happen. A lot of hotels have to deal with it. Even your high-end ones have to deal with some people bringing in bugs. That makes sense.
No, yeah, I'm sure. So how thoroughly are you cleaning these rooms? And I'm sure every hotel is different. Every housekeeper is different. But just like on a scale of 1 to 10, like if I were to book
like
a room
11.
there right now. Oh, okay. So you're taking it very seriously.
I wouldn't want, cause I put myself in a guest's shoes.
What is the like absolute worst part of your job?
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty used to a lot of it because I've been there for so long. But I feel like dealing with anything that has to do with like bodily fluids is kind of gross. Or like I've seen a room that I thought for sure somebody was being trafficked, and that one kind of scared me a little bit. We've had to kick a guy out because he was harassing me every time I worked. He would stalk me in the hallways and everything like that. He also was very creepy. I don't know if you guys want to know about the encounter that happened in general, what started it, but he was not, it's like maybe in his 60s, but he was very creepy, very, very creepy. And I think that's the part that I don't like, is having to potentially deal with creepy people.
Yeah. Did you say you thought someone was being trafficked?
Yes. We have a list of things that I would like to watch out for if you go into a room and you see these things. That could potentially be a person that has been trafficked or they're trafficking from that room. And I saw a lot of it. Like they had disconnected a lot of our stuff in our room, which is like in a worrisome matter of they think that we're recording them, being paranoid, or like they think that Wi-Fi password is going to get into their phones, like it's going to track what they're messaging or something. So they unplugged a lot of their stuff. They covered their TV with a towel, which I've had people do because they don't like the light at all. So that's fine. But like they've covered all their stuff. They want to do that. Then they had a lot of cleaning things, like as in like not just like antibacterial, like, you know, like your spray and stuff, like you're wiping, it's just some stuff, but like as in like feminine cleaning things. That makes sense. Like they would have, like if they were sexually trafficking somebody and she was doing a lot to clean herself.
This is really creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember saying something to, I can't remember. It's been a while since that's happened. It's like it was way before a remodel and everything. I remember saying something, and although it was to the head of housekeeping or my GM, I can't remember. It might have been my head of housekeeping, but she says that they said they looked into it. I don't know if that by then, because they realized I went in the room and they fixed what they did. They said none of that stuff was in there when we went in there, kind of thing. Like it seemed fine when we went, but right after that, the D&D, which is like do not disturb, was on their door for the rest of their stay.
Mm-hmm.
Which we're not allowed to go in after that.
You're like a detective too, in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly never even thought about that, but that's really cool to know that you guys are kind of keeping an eye out for like what could be illegal activity and things like that, or people that need help.
And also people worry about some hotels being used for it and they might get trafficked in them. I like live in a small town. Like creepy things do happen, like a lot. We're next to a motel, so you know the creepy things that could happen there. But me as a housekeeper right now, I can speak for myself that I do want to help people if I can make somebody smile. That's like all I'm for. That's all I want to do.
Do you often have interactions with people? Like, you know, you go into the room and,
oh yeah.
And
yeah.
And is that often like, you know, is it more often than not like sort of normal, or do you have like usually weird interactions with people?
I feel like it's about even. I've had quite a few weird interactions with people. I've had people answer the door naked. I've had people
I was
answer
going to ask that specifically.
Yeah, they've had a person straight up on the door like, no, we don't need housekeeping. I think he forgot that he didn't have anything on. So, you know, his stuff's just out in front of me. And he shut the door real fast. He's like, yeah, we don't need it. I'm like, I think he just forgot that he's naked. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, sure, he forgot.
I've had people answer a towel or boxers. I've had women answer the door naked, but they have no problem. Because, you know, they just like whatever with my boobies. I don't care. So they don't really care if they're naked or not.
Do you think anyone's ever done that on purpose to you? Like some weird like porn scene set up? They're like, you know, come in and they're like laying in the bed or something.
Well, that's kind of makes the story of the guy that got kicked out. I can tell you the story about that one. That one was an encounter that I had with he answered perfectly normal. Like I knocked on the door. I said housekeeping, you know, everybody makes fun of that. And he's like, I'm just going to get dressed. He just got out of the shower. He's like this old man. Okay. 50s, 60s. And he's like, okay, that's fine. He's like, you can clean in there. So I'm not in your way. And I'll just get dressed in the bathroom. I'll shut the door. I'm like, okay. So I start cleaning the like TV area, the beds, asking if he wanted sheets changed because some people want them changed. And well, you know, during their stay, if they're staying for a long time. And I'm doing that. He comes out. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking when he comes out, he's going to be like dressed, you know, like maybe some pajama pants, lounge pants, or he's getting ready to go somewhere. So pants in general, like he's going to be wearing clothes when he comes out. He comes out in something I would call the equivalent of a Speedo, but like kind of too small for him Speedo. And it's in like, I think it was a t-shirt, but I was too distracted by the fact that like 50, 60-year-old man just came out and is fully having a conversation with me in a Speedo. Like, and he kept asking me questions. First, it was like normal ones, which I was already uncomfortable with the fact that he didn't actually put clothes on and I'm in his room. Any other time a person was like that, and they're like, oh, you can come right now. I'm like, I'll wait till later till you know you're fully ready, to get the hint that I'm not being rude, like, hey, put some pants on. I'm not coming in here while you got no pants on. It's gonna be like, hey, when you're fully ready, I'll come back when you're ready, okay? So then they got the idea like, hey, I might want to put some clothes on and I made her uncomfortable. Well, I came in there and I'm like cleaning. He's asking about my job and what I do. Obviously, I'm a housekeeper. I clean rooms. And wanted to ask what my name was. So that creeped me out already because he's trying to get more information on me and I want to give it to him. And then how he was telling me how my name was pretty and how I was pretty and how I had that job. I shouldn't have had a job like that. And then complimenting my outfit in which I'm wearing scrubs. So I don't know how I looked hot at all in what I was wearing. And commenting what I was wearing and what it looked like and how it made my figure look like this and creep me out more and more and more. And in that aspect, he just kept going. I didn't know what to do because I'm already in the room. Do I run out? Do I continue what I'm doing? Or do I, try to diffuse the situation? So in my brain, I was like, I'll just try to veer the question somewhere else. So he'll stop asking and talking about me. So I tried to say something. I think it was snowing. I said something about the weather. And then he said that. And then he said something about Kim keeping me warm. So then he turned it back around to be creepy again. So I'm like half did my job because I'm like, I'm done. I just acted like I was done. Threw some towels in his bathroom. Like, okay, I'll have a good day. Shut the door. And then I moved my cart on the other side of the hallway and I ran downstairs and I told my boss because I was like, I'm never doing that man's room again. It's never happening. And apparently I wasn't the only one he was being kind of creepy towards. So then eventually my district manager, I think that's what she's considered or something. She's above a bunch of hotels. Told him, this isn't the way you act, especially people that are younger, way younger than you. You are not welcome to stay here anymore. And I have not seen him since.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you want to give therapy a try, then you should try BetterHelp. It is online counseling. You can talk to a therapist in just under 48 hours. You can get connected very quickly. Their platform is great. Like I said, they connect you very quickly. They also make it very seamless to jump from therapist to therapist so you can find the right fit for you. It's also very affordable. Way more affordable than in-person therapy. I myself am a big advocate for therapy. I think that it's very helpful for everybody, whether you're dealing with something traumatic or not. I think it's like going to the gym for your mind. I have been in it for almost 3 years now, and it's helped me through tough times, but also has helped me, with clarity on making some big decisions, career-wise or personal decisions. So yeah, I recommend it for everyone. I think that it's improved my life significantly. So if you want to try therapy, jump on in with BetterHelp. You can go to betterhelp.com/OPL and you will get 10% off of your first month. betterhelp.com/OPL. betterhelp.com/OPL. Get that 10% off your first month.
With the busy fall season just around the corner, you might be looking for wholesome and convenient meals for those jam-packed days. That's where Factor comes in. Factor is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, and it can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals that get delivered straight to your door. So you'll save time, you'll eat well, and you get to stay on track with that healthy lifestyle. I've recently been having their Protein Plus meals. Been trying to, hit the gym a lot, and it's guaranteed 30 plus grams of protein per meal, which is awesome. But they have a ton of different options to choose from based on what you want. And you can choose from over 34 weekly flavor-packed, dietitian-approved meals that are ready to eat in 2 minutes, like literally ready to eat in 2 minutes. It cannot get easier, and these meals are delicious and nutritious. You can even go with options that don't require a microwave. So get Factor, enjoy eating without the hassle, because trust me, I get it. You're busy, you're on the go. You don't always have time to sit down and prepare extravagant meals, and you just need something that's good and that's gonna allow you to stick to the healthy habits that you've created. And again, these meals are ready in just 2 minutes. No prep, no mess. So head to factormeals.com/OPL50 and use code OPL50 to get 50% off. That's code OPL50 at factormeals.com/OPL50 and you will get 50% off. Yeah, that's creepy. I didn't think about like a housekeeper going in and how vulnerable you are in that situation. If someone's staying in the room, that's super strange. And then who knows what they're trying to do or some weird fantasy they have. That's really creepy. I'm also wondering if, people just like, they use hotels as their like personal sex dungeons, I feel like. Do people just leave behind like fat dildos and sex toys and things?
Yes. There is an older couple, but this man was on oxygen. He was old, like 85 old. Okay. And this woman, she seemed like she walked better than he did. She may have been a little younger than him, but this two older couple, and when they had left the biggest dildo and vibrator I have ever seen in my entire life. Well, it was a strap on. And everyone's like, well, maybe he left. Maybe it doesn't work anymore and he still wants to please his wife. I'm like, I don't care. That's still weird.
How big are you talking?
Like, you don't think about the top of your hand to almost your elbow, kind of big.
Okay, that's
good Lord.
Like they still getting kind of freaky for sure at that age. That definitely didn't stop them.
Yikes. Has there ever been like actual like criminal activity that has taken place at your hotel?
There's been, not like criminal activity at ours, maybe not so much. We are next to, we've had crazy people that have been kicked out because they've been crazy. Like Karens and stuff, obviously. Everybody deals with those. But we have next to a motel, and apparently a person was kidnapped or something happened to him. He was murdered and chopped up at the motel next to us.
Jesus.
I hope you have a better rating than them.
We do. Now, literally, we had a person that left a review on our hotel that was explaining the fact that the hotel that we're located next to looks like it's a place that deals drugs and definitely has murderers staying in it.
Which is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's intuitive.
See, I feel bad for, like, now speaking to you, the housekeeper that walks in on that and finds like a chopped up body.
Yeah.
Like, you really never know what you're walking into, I guess.
I've walked into people sleeping and stuff and people doing it, like having sex. I've had that because they don't answer you because why would they do that?
Yeah.
Or lock their door. So I've walked in on stuff like that, but not as far as a murder. No, so I know for a fact over they don't have actual housekeepers at the motel. It's at the owners that did it.
Oh.
So when they saw it, obviously it got reported and thing. I know feel like a whole gun situation, but my husband and I do carry, and this is one thing that I felt like good thing that I did, because if something was to happen and that guy was going to go after me, that would terrify me because I'm a woman by myself. And
you have a gun on you while you're cleaning?
No, it's in my bag. I have a gun bag.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah. I'm allowed to have it, but I think it's because I've been there for so long. Like, my boss has been at my wedding.
Yeah. I mean, there is really just that unpredictability about your job that you never know what you're going to walk into. Do you feel like you're fairly compensated for what you do?
No.
Why not?
No, definitely not. Well, we start out, I can't remember when I started out. I think it might have been $11. And sometimes I can work a 9-hour to do a 10-hour day, depending on how bad my stuff is.
11 an hour? Sucks. That is low.
Yeah. And now I think I make more, but the only reason why I make more is because I've been there for as long as I've been there. But the aspect of, like, I don't think it's like a common knowledge. Like, you tip your waitress or your busboy, right, when you're at a restaurant, because they clean up your mess and they watched after you while you were at there eating food while you're staying, Housekeepers, I don't think a lot of people know, that's one thing that we rely on sometimes is to have tips. I've relied on tips before to buy things like milk or diapers, or, when me and my husband, he was working for an RV industry, and his job wasn't predictable. So sometimes didn't have it. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll get $10 and I can get, this stuff that we need. No, I feel like there was one time I think I had 16 rooms. And I think altogether I got $5, which is like I'm not trying to say I expect it, but I feel like, especially if you're going to trash a room, think about who's got to clean it up. Like, it's not we're just someone's slave. We shouldn't have to pick up a mess. You're not a 5-year-old. You're not, a child anymore. You know better. You don't do this at your own house. You don't try to poop on the rim of your toilet at home or pee in your shower. Like, that's one thing I've seen. So it's like somebody was like trying to be an acrobat and pooped on the rim of their toilet and just left it there.
Jesus Christ. And honestly, like, I was going to ask about the tipping, because it wasn't until I was like later in life that I knew that anyone would tip, like, when you stay at a hotel room, like leave some money on the nightstand or
They
something.
don't make it like clear enough.
No.
Sometimes there's those little envelopes to like tip the housekeeper, but yeah, like
I've never seen that. I've seen like notepads and it's like, oh, leave a note. And I'm like, what? Like, but it didn't occur to me until I think I stayed at a hotel room at a wedding, like with my mom or something. And she like left. I was like, what is this for? And she's like, it's for that fucking people who clean the room. And I was like, oh, but at that point I was like close to 20 years old,
Yeah.
like I just it wasn't a thing. Like I knew from a young age, you're supposed to tip people like waiters and stuff, but never, like, it's not, I don't know why that's not sort of common knowledge.
it could be such an invisible job, I guess. Like, except for the people who are like weird and answering naked or like having sex when you walk in. Like, I personally like try to get out and like will never interact with a housekeeper. Like, partly just out of respect. Like, try to keep the room clean and like you do your thing. I'm not going to be in your space. And you could go a whole trip without ever seeing the person that's cleaning your room, and then you just kind of don't even realize that this person was doing it.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's like magic. You just come back and it's clean.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I feel like it's not common knowledge, so it's another thing that I wanted to make, because I feel like if people don't know, it's like every day a person could be staying for a week. Okay, every day you could not be getting the same housekeeper. So maybe one day you tipped, but the day before you didn't, and you think, oh, I'm tipping for the same person. You're not. So like, I work when I can because like babysitters and daycares are really expensive. So it's kind of just cheaper for me to work when I can. And then my husband brings in the money, which it's kind of sucks because he has like most of the financial burden on himself, but I can't really do much about it, So when I come in, my job might not be seen. It might be like, oh, she did such a great job. And the next person gets, even though my name might be in that room, you can't always plan on a housekeeper being like, oh, since she cleaned it, maybe they're leaving it for her.
Yeah.
Or like I had one girl, she ended up leaving. She went to a different job. She would split it. Like if she's cleaning it that day and the person cleaned it before and the person might be trying to leave it them, she would split the whatever's left in there. Even if it was like $2, she'd be trying to split it between somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's like that. And so I don't really see much. And I try, no matter, even if I just see a tip or not, I try to go over and beyond my job. Like I don't know anybody else. I think the girls started drawing little things like doodles on theirs because I draw full pictures on mine. So maybe
that's really cool to hear. For you to also say flat out, you don't feel like you're fairly compensated for the work that you're doing, but then tell us how much you go above and beyond. And it seems like you do like the job, and that's really, really cool to hear because, maybe it's not bringing in the money that you wish it did, but you're still taking this job very seriously and, acting as professional as possible.
Yeah, I've had it for so long, and I have respect for my boss. Like, she is a sweet person and she's put up with a lot of my crap, my attitude. So she's like the nicest person I feel like I've dealt with. My bosses, beside my very first boss, we went to concerts together. So like that, not everybody can have a boss that's like that.
Well, I hope everyone listening realizes to tip as much as they possibly can when they stay in hotels.
We're trying not to poop on the rim of a toilet.
Definitely that first, yeah.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying.
Put your pocket pushies away. I don't want to see all those all the time.
Yeah.
or your fleshlights. I don't need to see those either.
Or your 3-foot dildos. Please remember to pack those.
3-foot dildos. That's a lot.
Yeah,
come on, people. There's humans that have to go into this room and see this stuff and clean this stuff up. Like, I don't know why people act like such animals in hotels.
Honestly, also a 3-foot dildo, that sounds expensive. So guys, please.
Yes, I'm saying.
Don't flush your money.
Sued for stuff like that. You've been sued for throwing away people's sex toys.
Jeez.
Well, that's not a lost and found item. You don't stick on the item when somebody left their shirt.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know if someone's coming back for that. Like, I left a 3-foot dildo in here about a week ago.
I was in the room with the shit on the toilet. And I didn't tip.
Well,
and I did tip.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on today and giving us a peek behind the curtain, and telling us about your experience. So thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it, and thank you for your service, the invisible work that people are not appreciating. And we wish you the best of luck with everything. We truly hope people start tipping more, and just best of luck to you and your family.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, man, I feel like, being a housemaid is probably one of those jobs where, like, of course you're underappreciated. Because like you said, you don't even see them. I also don't. I feel uncomfortable if I'm in the room and they're cleaning. I'd be like, what is it?
I have to get out.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel weird sitting here and not helping. You
I
know?
know, right?
Like the first time I hired a cleaner for one of my apartments, I was cleaning with him because I felt weird. I'm like, I'm not just going to sit on the couch while you clean my house. Like,
Yeah.
I have to. But then I also realized, and we had a conversation, we became cool, me and him. But he was like, you're not going to do a good job. And I was like, okay. Like,
That's fair too. Cleaning's
yeah.
a very legitimate skill.
I also
Could not do what these people do.
I don't like to clean with people anyway. So like growing up, I shared a room with Keith. I'd be like, just get out. Like I'm going to do it because I don't like I like to do my own thing too.
I also wouldn't trust Keith to clean a thing.
Me neither. Probably why that happened. But yeah, I think, if you're taking anything away from this episode, tip your hotel housemates, okay? Because they're cleaning up after you. They're changing your sheets. They're making them real tight around the bottom of the
Some
bed.
people don't like that though. It's like that Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
The tuck or not.
I like it.
I like a tuck.
I like it. I like to feel like
Ooh,
secure.
so snug, yeah.
Yeah, like fucking, I don't know why anyone doesn't like that. I don't like my feet out. Like, what the fuck?
No, that's strange.
It's very weird. I like to feel like I'm in the pouch of a kangaroo. Anyway, interesting episode. Yeah, to answer your question before, I don't really try to think about any of that. I walk in a hotel room and I try to, ignorance is bliss. So I'm kind of just like, I'm just staying in a room. It's whatever it is. I don't try to think about how many people have died in this bed or anything like that.
Sure.
Yeah,
death. I didn't think about that too. People dying
Yeah.
and I'm sure that's any type of hotel, any chain, any level or price, the same shit's going on.
Of course.
People are fucking dying and shitting and pissing all over the place.
Yeah, it's just
and
one
that's
big
that.
Yeah, it's just one big bodily fluid, like Picasso painting.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Or Jackson Pollock, I should say.
Beautifully said.
A little messy.
That's beautiful.
But yeah, for anyone out there who would like to be a guest on our show, don't hesitate to reach out. Our email is oplpodcast@gmail.com. Send us your story and we will get back to you.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram, TikTok @OPL Podcast. Head to patreon.com/OPL show and tip your housekeepers.
Yeah, see you guys next time.